Hello, this is Tatsu San, Japanese curiosity evangelist. For a moment, could you put down whatever you might be holding? Let's also set aside the endless list of things you need to do in your mind. Let's softly drop that heavy baggage. Let's simply create a quiet space to reset ourselves. Just by doing this, you might notice your breath becoming a little deeper. You might feel a subtle, gentle sense of freedom. Welcome to YOHAKU Radio, a pulse with Japanese wisdom. This is a place where we use the Japanese language and culture as a lens, a place to rediscover curiosity in a world that constantly demands efficiency. Today, we begin season 1 of our journey. Our very first theme explored the question, what exactly is yohaku? We live in a world that is always rushing, a society that constantly asks us to perform at our absolute peak. We often call a moment good only when our spirits are visibly high, only when we are highly productive. But by doing so, are we discarding everything else? Today, I would like to gently question the way we live. Let's gaze through the lens of Japanese wisdom. Let's search for an entrance to this space together. For example, think about the small gaps between your plans. The time you wait for a train, the moment you stand in a line at the store. Without a thought, we put out our smartphones. Before we realize it, several minutes have passed. We hardly remember what we were just looking at. Yet, our mind feels strangely restless. Do you ever experience moments like this? When we hearing the word yohaku, some might think of it as merely doing nothing. Some might picture it as just spacing out. Recently, some people call it white time. But the yohaku I want to speak of is not merely an empty space in your calendar. It is a quiet space to breathe and carefully observe your own feelings. It is a place to gently sit with the choices you have made. Let's reflect on what an ideal feeling looks like. Depending on the culture, the shape of a good feeling can differ greatly. For instance, in America, a state of intense moving emotion is often seen as ideal. Words like incredible or awesome come to mind. On the other hand, the ideal feeling we often cherish in Japan is a bit different. It is naturally not a state of feeling down, but it's also not a state of soaring excitement. It is calm, it is grounded, and yet it is still quietly positive. Imagine your emotions as a beautiful color gradient. It is not a blazing, roaring red. It is more like the soft, mild light of a sunny spot on a quiet afternoon. I believe that a just right kind of positivity resembles a gentle hue somewhere in the very middle of that gradient. When I can feel this gentle color, I know I have yohaku in my heart. When there is yohaku, we can finally hear the small, quiet voice within us. We can pause and ask, what am I really doing right now? We can reflect, is this choice truly the right one for me? We can find a space to wonder about the future. And we can deeply savor the quiet positivity we are feeling in this very moment. Yohaku is also a state of stepping slightly away from the noise of busyness. It is taking a mindful step back from social media and the judgments of others. When we do this, what we truly want to hold on to becomes clear. It becomes easier to quietly decide for ourselves. It is perfectly fine if it takes a little time. We choose carefully, as if gently protecting the things we hold dear. This quiet space we intentionally carve out, this profound pose is what I call YOHAKU. Holding on to these thoughts, here is a question for you today. What kind of brightness represents your just right positivity right now? Not blindingly bright and not too dark. Where in that quiet gradient do you find the exact color that brings you peace? When you rest in that brightness, how does your body feel? How is your breathing? Are your shoulders truly relaxed? What does the space deep behind your eyes feel like? If you like, just for this moment, take a delicate breath and try to feel it. P.S. Before we part, I have a small invitation for you. If today's question resonated with you, I'll be honored to hear your thoughts through our message phone. Your letter becomes a precious seed for our live sessions and future episodes. Together, we use these voices to weave our thoughts and deepen a philosophical dialogue with friends around the world. And if you're looking for a place to update your life using Japanese as a lens, I warmly welcome you to our YOHAKU Community Insight Plan. Through our gentle weekly live shows, we explore Japanese wisdom together with mindful friends. It is a beautiful place to share this journey. Thank you so deeply for sharing this quiet time with me today. Next time, we'll explore why YOHAKU is slowly fading from our modern age. And together, we will slowly think about why we need it more than ever. Until then, please take care, and I will meet you here on the next YOHAKU Radio.